Hopefully you can hear me. I finally have a headset. Today I will be having a barbecue. I beat Gravity Rush. I fully beat the game. Wait up. So I fully beat the game, and I have to admit the ending was fantastic. After that I began learning for my driving exam tomorrow. It went okay, not very good actually, but I mean, no one can know everything, and you have to learn, holy shit, so much. After that, where's the character? I want to play something else. Let's play Law. So after that, my brother actually, he said, hey, you want to go have a barbecue? And it's pretty nice weather, so I'm like, yeah, sure. So in about half an hour, 20, 30 minutes, I will be going to the barbecue. Also, huge announcement, Sony announced that... Fight. Sony announced that Horizon Zero Dawn sold 3.4 million copies as of April 30. 915 copies are digital. That makes me really sad, but it is what it is, right? Also, Sony announced that PS4's sold through is almost at 60 million, and they have shipped more than 60 million copies of the PlayStation 4. And this month there will be a limited edition gold PS4 at $250. It's 1 terabyte, so that is a $50 price cut. And they will be having a huge amount of hardware and software sales. So that is really interesting. And also in Europe, the PlayStation 4 is getting a Pro bundle with PlayStation 4 Pro and Tekken 7. That's actually not that good of a deal, to be honest. And also PlayStation 4 Slim with Crash Bandicoot Remastered and Ratchet & Clank. And I actually just got a message from my sister asking if I would buy that game console, that bundle for her children, so that's pretty much a guaranteed sale. Because I'm a nice guy and I want my nephews that are becoming 7 years old to grow up with Crash Bandicoot and stuff like, you know, Ratchet & Clank, and not with Call of Duty or Gears of War or whatever. KO, bitch. You win. Next battle, bitch.
Si insistes. Round 1. Fight.
To be honest, one thing I want to say is that I'm a little bit disappointed with Horizon. I mean, I was hoping it would sell a bit more. It definitely deserves it, but I mean, 5 million this year is pretty much guaranteed. So that's great for a total new IP. And it also means it already outsold every Killzone game. So that's cool to know.
Perfect.
Duh.
You win.
Of course I'm perfect. What's up, Half-Life Kling? How are you? Can you, by the way, hear me correctly? Because I have a microphone on, so my camera is about 3 meters away from me. Special match. Oh yeah, you unlock special matches after you beat the storyline, because I beat the storyline. Special promotion match.
Round 1. Fight.
Ha! Ace Brand, I just talked about that. Yeah, and the PS4 almost sold 60 million and have shipped 60 million. And there's pretty much going to be a price cut because the gold, limited edition gold PS4 is going to be 250, 1 terabyte. Now 1 terabyte systems are mostly 300, so that's a $50 price cut.
Round 2. Fight.
By the way, Ace Brand, I totally beat Gravity Rush, and I have to admit the ending was epic. The ending was really good. Really satisfying ending. Pretty much all the questions that we were talking about got answered. You really know where she comes from and who she was. So that was really good. I was happy with that. The end boss was annoying though, as always. No! Why is he always blocking?
KO.
Eat that, bitch!
You win.
I think I should get a trophy. Yep! Trophy! The Prosperous Inevitable. Hit effect D. Paul. Unlocked customization item. Well, Gravity Rush is fun, a lot of fun. Only, certain parts of the game where, I was really annoyed are not that fun. They're just really annoying. But overall, I mean, the game's awesome though. The game is really good. It's indeed about like an 8. I think I would give the game like an 8.
Round 2.
Yeah. It's a good game, but it could have been better if they kind of sorted out the really annoying, boss battles and the super long challenge, the gauntlet stuff. That was just annoying. I mean, I can even, I can put these really annoying parts down, but just the annoying boss battles are, annoyed as hell. But I have to admit, how the game ended, there's not gonna be a Gravity Rush 3. It is impossible to explain that.
You win.
It was a really good ending. Promoted. Hell yeah. Get me that stuff.
Round 1.
Fight.
Fight.
Hey,
KO. Round 2. Fight.
I don't know. Sony announced a couple of days of, they called it Days of Gaming this month. And what they have said is huge software deals and hardware deals. So I'm like, I think we're gonna get a $200 PS4 for a certain amount of time. Maybe to look at, hey, how much is the PS4 going to sell when we cut the price to $250 or $200? And if somehow it gets huge sales, we may be getting an official price cut. you know. I don't know if this is because of the Switch, you know, selling really well, or because they're like, we want to create, you know, as big as an install base as possible, you know, for the release of our flagship titles, you know, like Days Gone and the new Uncharted and, you know, God of War. We don't know. But I'm really curious, you know, what price cuts we will see. The only thing we certainly know is that the 1 terabyte golden PS4 will be $250. So that is a $50 price cut. Because right now 1 terabyte is $300 bucks. Promoted to third queue. Europe is also getting 2 bundles, a Tekken 7 Pro bundle and a Ratchet & Clank Crash Bandicoot Slim bundle. Turbo battle.
Round 1. Fight.
Holy shit, that was fast.
KO. Round 2. Fight. KO. You win.
T-shirt. Creepy head. Okay. Next battle.
Round 1. Fight.
Of course, not surprised. And, you know, as we mentioned before, Sony's going to be all out. They're not having any new hardware. You know, Microsoft needs to sell their hardware. Nintendo kind of also. Sony is the only one who is comfortably ahead in sales. The only thing they have to do is show a gigantic amount of games. And that is what they're going to do. Trust me on it. Mark my words. Sony is going to show a gigantic amount of games. Third party, VR stuff, first party, maybe even some Japanese stuff. I don't know, but yeah, maybe. And definitely at least one new game from Sucker Punch. And, you know, if we're seeing the trend of Sony where they also showcase smaller games, you know, we're gonna see about 2 to 3 new games coming out for PS4. That's what I predict. I'll be making my prediction videos this week, hopefully. Special match. Oh yeah, it's Kazumi. Yeah, it didn't look impressive at all, but I mean, it's Monster Hunter. You know, there's also Pokemon Direct, so you know many people believe Pokemon, the new Pokemon for Switch is going to be announced. It is going to skyrocket the Switch. So, I mean, of course, Sony doesn't want that. That's, you know, competition. They want players to buy their PS4 instead of, you know, a Switch. So. I'm really curious what Sony and Microsoft is actually going to do to battle Monster Hunter and Pokemon. Holy shit!
You lose.
Do you have to fight her again? Because that would be annoying.
Round 1.
Okay, so no.
Fight.
I don't know. I mean, we shouldn't underestimate the power of Nintendo. You know, I mean, if you've seen the sales of Mario Kart, a freaking port of a game that came out, what, 2-3 years ago? Insane amount of sales. The Switch is outselling the PS4 2-to-1 worldwide with shortages. So don't underestimate Nintendo. Of course, many Nintendo fans are underestimating Sony, as you know, now we're seeing so many topics in forums talking about the absolute domination of Switch and how many months when Switch is gonna outsell PS4. I'm like, dude, don't go ahead of yourself. People are even saying we should compare Switch with the Wii and the DS in sales and not with PS4. I'm like, what? Are you mentally ill? No one is going to outsell the DS. If the 3DS cannot do it, the Switch also won't do it. Same goes with PS4. You know, that era is over. It's PS2, you know, sales are not going to be eclipsed. DS sales are not going to be. I think that, you know, a console, it will be extremely successful if it sells like 60 or 80 million. You know, like if your console sells 100, it's a huge success in this day of age. So thinking that the Switch is gonna eclipse DS, that is really stupid.
Great. Final round. Fight.
Die, bitch.
You win.
I don't know if PS4 will have long legs, but I mean, Sony can definitely do a lot of things to make the PS4 just sell a huge amount. And one of those things is, you know, really good price cuts, really good bundles, and really good price cuts. I think that if the PS4 is gonna be 200 this year, I mean, it's not gonna happen, but if Sony would do it, the PS4 is gonna sell a shit ton. And like, it could sell up until next year, and then in 2019, another price cut to 150. At the beginning of 2020, PS5, PS4 will be easily above 100.
Round 1. Fight.
Yeah. I mean, again, you know, Nintendo is really focusing on first-party games, on Pokemon, and on Monster Hunter. It doesn't have Red Dead, it doesn't have Call of Duty. You know, it's gonna be hard for Nintendo at the end of the year. Pokemon and Monster Hunter could tip the odds.
KO. Final round. Fight.
Also, of course, not forgetting Destiny 2. Now, I do think that Destiny 2 is not gonna be as big as the first one, but hey, it's still coming out. You know, new Assassin's Creed could be huge. FIFA is, of course, a huge player. You know, there are many big third-party games that Sony could benefit with a bundle and a good price cut. There is a Ratchet & Clank Crash Bandicoot bundle, by the way, coming in Europe. Or did I already say that? But yeah, I'm pretty much going to buy that for my nephews. 7 years old, you know, they should definitely understand the value of, you know, not destroying a game. Or I mean, not destroying a system. And I'm pretty much going to give it, you know, to my sister, so she'll be in charge of it. And once in a while, you know, I'll definitely be, you know, getting a game. I think for my sister, I will be buying Horizon. For my nephews, I also will be buying maybe 1 or 2 Lego games. You know, they're not really expensive.
You win.
Yes, of course. You know, that's what I was trying to say against many fans who are, you know, overhyping the Switch. I mean, if the Switch keeps selling high, you know, in like a year from now, then I'll be saying, okay, they are right. You know, the Switch is gonna sell a huge amount. But 3 months, in slow months, for a new system that is freaking getting Mario Kart and Zelda in like a small time frame, of course it's gonna sell.
KO. Round 2.
Well, officially, H-Brand, we are not in the 4th year. In November, the PS4 will be 4 years. Officially. Also one of the reasons why it's absolutely stupid to believe PlayStation 5 will be coming out this year or next year. You know, we're just past way the gen. It's not gonna end in a year from now. Hell no.
Non farmi perdere tempo. Va.
Round 1. Fight.
Yes, at the end of 2019 or early 2020 is my prediction too. That will be 6 years. 6 or 6.5 years. Heck, if the PS4 is all of a sudden boosting sales or whatever, it could be even like the end of 2020. You know, it all depends on how much is the PS4 still selling. Sony's not gonna drop a system that is still selling, you know, 18 million copies. No! Almost.
Final round. Fight.
Really? Really? No! Why?
You lose.
Forse ho esagerato.
Round one. Fight.
Yeah, of course. I mean, you know, officially the PS4 is still 300 bucks. It's expensive. It's really, it's still expensive for, you know, buying it for your small kid, for example. You know, you're not gonna spend 300 bucks on what many, you know, parents believe is just a toy. You're not gonna do that. If it's 250 or 200, that's another case. This really showcases how bad I am in fighting games.
Final round.
It's freaking uneasy, and I'm still getting my ass kicked.
KO.
Yay! Killed it.
You win. Round one.
Using Mitsu.
Fight.
Yeah, you know, the same with PS4, PS2 indeed.
KO.
You know, it sold pretty well,
Round two.
and when it hit a certain price point, it just exploded. Especially for like smaller countries, also like China, like a price reduction, I think, and like Japan, it's really important. You know, Sony talked about that a lot of times, about making the PS4 the best value in the market. And in my opinion, 3.5 years, still 300, the value is not that good. Especially if you put it against a new system like the Switch, that's also portable, that adds extra value for people, and the upcoming Scorpio, who will have much better graphics and frame rate, that is also, you know, added value.
Round one. Fight.
I think that 200 is indeed like, you know, the sweet spot for a system like PS4. You know, it's almost everyone can you know, can spend 200 bucks.
Round two. Fight.
No!
You lose.
Okay. Let's, how late is it? Yeah. And I mean that's why the PlayStation 3, you know, was really slow at price cuts.
King of Iron
You know,
Fist
Sony
Tournament
was
7.
just having huge losses, and I think that they almost could not drop the price of the PS3. It was just almost impossible for them. And now with PS4, you know, making millions of dollars, their games are selling incredibly well. You know, PS Plus is doing good. Sadly, digital revenue is increasing tremendously. I think they can definitely cut the price easily. Who the fuck is Steve? Oh, that guy, the boxer.
Brian Fury.
Come on.
Round 1.
King.
Fight.
Yes, indeed. You know, that's why they're really focused on building a huge software library. So, in my opinion, like if I was Sony, you know, I would have wanted to create the biggest install base that I could afford, you know, as a company. So I will definitely cut the price, making sure that, you know, the PS4 is about 80 million at the end of the year. It's almost impossible, but with a 200 PS4, it could definitely do it. And then just make huge profits of stuff like Days Gone and Wipeout, Crash Bandicoot, maybe less, you know, PlayStation Plus, and sadly, digital revenue. You know, they make huge profits off of that. So that's what I would do as a company.
Round 1.
Azuka.
KO.
Donk.
Round 2. Fight. KO. You win.
Okay, one more match, and I'm going to the barbecue. Barbecue! Food! Food!
Come on.
Round 1. Fight.
Yeah, you know, price and software is extremely important for a console, and especially nowadays with stuff like Steam, you know,
Round 2.
and PCs getting more popular. It's really important to have a big selection of exclusive games and a good price cut, you know, a good price.
KO. You win.
Okay, that's one more. Let's do one more. One last match. One more. One last match. One last match.
Round 1. Fight.
Really? It's, by the way, a good-looking stage. Tekken on the original PS4 is 900p.
Fight.
On PS4 Pro it's 1080p. On Xbox One it's 720. Of course you also have an option to make it 4K, but I don't have a 4K screen. All versions, by the way, run at a rock solid 60 frames. And that is more important than frame rate. I mean, than resolution. Especially in a fighting game like Tekken.
KO. You win.
I mean, Switch could run this game, but it will be downgraded a lot. A lot. I mean, the Switch is stronger than, you know, a Wii U. Of course it can run this game. It will just be really downgraded. Because they really want to push at 60 frames. Okay, so H-Brand and whatever who is watching, thanks a lot for watching. I'm going to the barbecue. Look, you can actually see my hand moving away. Woohoo! Okay, I'm going to the barbecue, get some food, then go back home, study more for my exam tomorrow, and maybe play a couple of other Tekken matches. Thanks a lot for watching, and like always, you will see me next time. Where's the share button over here?